She lied about her pregnancy to trap me. So I exposed her. I never thought my life would turn into something straight out of a soap opera. But here I was, staring at a positive pregnancy test that didn't belong to me, yet had the power to destroy my future. It all started with Emily. We had been dating for about 6 months, and while things were good in the beginning, something always felt off. She was clingy, possessive, and had a way of twisting my words to make me feel guilty, even when I hadn't done anything wrong. I should have seen the red flags, but I ignored them, convincing myself that maybe she just loved too hard. Then, out of nowhere, she dropped the bombshell. "I'm pregnant," she whispered one evening, holding up a positive pregnancy test with tears in her eyes. "We're going to have a baby, and I need you to be here for me." Shock numbed my entire body. A baby? I wasn't ready. We had never even talked about kids, and something about the way she said it didn't sit right with me. But I knew one thing for sure. I had to be responsible. "Are you sure?" I asked carefully. She nodded, sniffling. "I took 2 tests. They're both positive. I wanted to wait to tell you until I was sure. I know this wasn't planned, but I love you, and I know we can do this together." Panic and doubt warred inside me. I wasn't ready to be a father, but if she was pregnant, I had no choice. So I did what I thought was right. I told her I'd be there. I said all the words she wanted to hear, even if my gut was screaming at me that something was wrong. But deep down, something didn't add up. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing strange things. She refused to let me come to her doctor's appointments, saying she wanted to go alone. Every time I brought up seeing an ultrasound, she made an excuse. Then, one night, everything unraveled. I found a receipt in her purse, one from a local pharmacy. It wasn't for prenatal vitamins or anything pregnancy-related. No, it was for a pack of pregnancy tests. Bought 3 days after she told me she was pregnant. My blood ran cold. If she had already tested positive, why was she buying more tests? Something wasn't right. I needed proof. So I set a trap. That weekend, I told her I wanted to celebrate our big news and suggested a dinner at her favorite restaurant. But before we left, I made an excuse to go to her bathroom, where I found the one thing that confirmed my suspicions, an unused pregnancy test. And I knew exactly how to use it to expose her. I stood in Emily's bathroom, gripping the unopened pregnancy test. My mind raced. If she was already pregnant, why would she need to take another test? This was it, the proof I needed. I took a deep breath and slipped the test back into its box, making sure everything looked untouched. Then I walked out of the bathroom, forcing a smile as if nothing had changed. "Ready to go?" I asked, acting normal. Emily beamed at me, completely unaware that her lies were unraveling. "Yeah, I can't wait. It's so sweet of you to take me out." The whole dinner, I watched her carefully, analyzing every word, every smile, every fake little giggle. She was too excited, too happy, as if she was celebrating a victory she hadn't actually won yet. I knew I had to be smart about this. If I accused her outright, she'd deny it, twist it, make me the bad guy. No, I needed proof. Undeniable, irrefutable proof. So I came up with a plan. The trap. A few days later, I told her I had scheduled a doctor's appointment for her. She froze. What? Why?" "I just want to be involved," I said smoothly. "I know you've been going alone, but I want to support you. Be there when we hear the heartbeat. Like a real family." She hesitated, her eyes darting around like she was searching for an escape. "That's sweet, babe, but I already have an appointment scheduled next week. The doctor is super busy, and I don't want to reschedule." I nodded like I believed her. "That's fine. I'll just come with you to that one." Panic flashed across her face. "You don't have to." "I want to," I cut in, my voice firm. She had no way out now. The breakdown. The day of the appointment, I made sure we actually went to a real doctor's office. I had called ahead and set everything up. The moment we walked inside, Emily's face went pale. When the nurse asked for her information, Emily stammered, Uh, I, I don't think I have my ID. The nurse smiled politely. That's okay. Just give me your date of birth and we'll pull it up. Emily swallowed hard. Actually, I'm not feeling well. Maybe we should reschedule. No way, I said, my voice sharp. We're already here. Let's get this done. Emily was trapped. She clenched her jaw, then suddenly stood up. Fine. You want to know the truth? I lied. The entire waiting room went silent. She turned to me, her face twisted in anger. I lied about the pregnancy, okay? I did it because I didn't want you to leave me. You were pulling away and I knew this would keep us together. A mix of fury and disgust churned inside me. You tried to trap me with a fake pregnancy? Tears welled in her eyes, but I wasn't falling for it anymore. I love you so much and I was afraid of losing you. I let out a bitter laugh. Well, congratulations, Emily. You lost me anyway. And with that, I walked out, leaving her standing there, exposed. Walking out of that doctor's office should have been the end of it. I had exposed Emily's lies, humiliated her in front of a full waiting room, and finally freed myself from the toxic web she had spun around me. But I underestimated her. Emily wasn't the type to let go easily. For the next week, she blew up my phone. Texts, calls, voice messages filled with sobbing and apologies. Please, I was desperate. I know I messed up, but we can fix this. You don't understand. I only did it because I love you. If you don't answer me, I don't know what I'll do to myself. That last message sent a chill down my spine. Was she bluffing? Trying to guilt trip me? Or was she actually in trouble? I couldn't risk ignoring it. So, against my better judgment, I texted back. Me. Emily, are you safe? She answered immediately. Emily. No, I need you. Please come over. Just one last time. I should have said no. I should have blocked her. But a part of me, the part that still had a shred of empathy, felt like I owed her at least that. A final conversation. Closure. So I went. When I arrived at Emily's apartment, the door was already unlocked. Red flag. I stepped inside cautiously. Emily? No answer. The apartment was too quiet. No TV, no music, just the sound of my own breathing. Then I saw her. She was sitting on the couch, eyes red from crying, a half-empty bottle of wine on the table next to her. In her hand, she clutched a piece of paper. The moment she saw me, she held it up. My stomach dropped. No, I said immediately. You're not doing this again. She let out a weak, broken laugh. I'm not lying this time. I took another test, and it's positive. I froze. Was she telling the truth now? Was this some sick twist of fate? Bullshit, I snapped. You faked it once, you can fake it again. I didn't, she whispered. This time it's real. I couldn't breathe. If she was lying, I'd walk away forever. But if she was telling the truth, I was back in the nightmare I thought I had escaped. One way or another, I had to find out. And this time, I wasn't leaving without the truth. Emily sat on the couch, her red-rimmed eyes locked on mine, holding out yet another pregnancy test. This time, it's real, she whispered. My heart pounded. I had already caught her lying once. Was she really stupid enough to try it again? I took a slow breath, forcing myself to stay calm. Prove it. She blinked. What? You heard me, I said, stepping closer. You lied before. If you're really pregnant this time, take a test right now in front of me. Emily hesitated, gripping the test in her hand. The seconds dragged out, tension filling the air. Then she snapped. Why can't you just believe me? She shrieked, standing up so fast that the wine bottle on the table tipped over. I told you it's real. Why do you have to keep punishing me for one mistake? One mistake? I let out a bitter laugh. Emily, you faked a pregnancy to trap me. That's not a mistake. That's manipulation. Her face twisted in desperation. I did it because I love you. I shook my head. Number, you did it because you didn't want to lose control over me. Emily stared at me, breathing heavily. Then, suddenly, her expression changed. The tears stopped. The panic faded. And for the first time, I saw the real Emily. Cold, calculating. She took a slow step toward me, tilting her head. Fine, she said, her voice eerily calm. You want the truth? I folded my arms. Yeah, actually I do. She smirked. I'm not pregnant. My stomach clenched. I knew it. But, she cut in, her voice sharp as a blade. I have something else. Something that will ruin you if you walk away from me again. I stiffened. What the hell are you talking about? She turned, grabbed her phone from the couch, and tapped on the screen. Then, she held it up for me to see. On the screen was a video of me, sleeping, in her bed, and she was talking to the camera. This is me and my amazing boyfriend. She purred in the video, brushing a hand over my face while I slept. He doesn't know it yet, but we're about to start a family together. And he's going to be such a great dad, don't you think? The recording ended. I could feel my pulse in my throat. What the fuck is that? Emily grinned. A little insurance policy. I clenched my fists. That's insane. She shrugged. Maybe, but imagine how bad it would look if this video somehow ended up online. If I told people you abandoned me while I was pregnant. If I cried on camera, talked about how you pressured me into things, made me feel unsafe. Rage and disbelief crashed over me. You wouldn't... She stepped closer, lowering her voice. Try me. I stared at her, my mind racing. She had backed me into a corner. If I walked away, she'd destroy my reputation. Maybe even get me fired, blacklisted. She knew exactly what she was doing, but she had underestimated me, because I was done playing her games. And now, it was my turn to expose her. Emily stood there, smirking like she had already won, like she had me cornered. But she had no idea who she was messing with. I let out a slow breath and forced a small, amused smile. You really thought this through, didn't you? Her smirk widened. Of course. Unlike you, I actually plan ahead. I pretended to think it over, rubbing my chin like I was considering my options. So, let me get this straight. If I leave, you'll post the video, cry about how I abandoned you, and try to ruin my life? She crossed her arms. Exactly. I nodded. All right. Post it. Her smile flickered. What? Go ahead, I said casually. Post the video. Put it everywhere. Just know that the moment you do, you'll regret it. Emily frowned. You're bluffing. I pulled out my phone, scrolled for a few seconds, and then turned the screen toward her. Her face drained of color. Because on my screen was a recording of our entire conversation. Every word. Every threat. Everything. I had started recording the second I walked into her apartment. I let that sink in for a moment before speaking. See, Emily, you're not the only one who can plan ahead. She lunged for my phone, but I yanked it back before she could touch it. I warned. It's already backed up to the cloud. So even if you smash my phone, this little masterpiece isn't going anywhere. Her breathing grew rapid. You can't... Oh, I can, I said smoothly. Because now, the moment you post your little video, I post mine. And trust me, Emily, no one is going to believe you after hearing you admit to faking a pregnancy and threatening to ruin my life. Her whole body trembled. You wouldn't. I shrugged. Try me. For the first time, I saw real fear in her eyes. She knew she had lost. I took a step closer, lowering my voice. Now, you're going to do exactly what I say. You're going to delete that video. You're going to lose my number. And if you so much as try to mess with me again, this recording goes public. And trust me, I won't hesitate. Tears welled in her eyes. Please, I just wanted you to love me. I let out a bitter laugh. Love isn't built on lies, Emily. And whatever this was, it's over. She swallowed hard, then slowly grabbed her phone, tapping furiously at the screen. A moment later, she turned it toward me. The video was gone. I nodded. Good girl. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a life to live, without you in it. And with that, I walked out of her apartment for the last time. Epilogue. Emily tried reaching out a few more times, but I never responded. Eventually, she disappeared from my life. And as for me, I moved on. Found someone real. Someone who didn't lie, manipulate, or try to trap me. But I never forgot what happened. Because some people will do anything to keep you. And when that happens, you have to be willing to do anything to set yourself free. I thought it was over. I thought I had won. But Emily? She wasn't done with me yet. For a few weeks, everything was quiet. No texts, no calls, no sudden coincidences where she happened to be wherever I was. It was like she had finally gotten the message and moved on. I should have known better. One night, as I was heading home from work, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, until a gut feeling told me to answer. The moment I did, a familiar voice slithered into my ear. Miss me? My blood ran cold. Emily. She giggled like this was some kind of game. Aw, you still remember my voice. That's cute. I gritted my teeth. What do you want? She sighed dramatically. Well, since you decided to embarrass me and walk out of my life, I've been thinking maybe I should return the favor. A bad feeling crept into my gut. Emily, what the hell are you talking about? She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she hummed a little tune, like she was enjoying this. Check your email, babe. The line went dead. My hands were shaking as I unlocked my phone and opened my email. And when I saw the subject line, my stomach dropped. The truth about my name, read before you trust him. It had been sent to my boss, my coworkers, my friends, my family, everyone important in my life. I opened the email, and what I saw made my blood boil. Screenshots, edited conversations, fake accusations, lies. Emily had twisted everything. She made it look like I had manipulated her, like I had pressured her into things, abandoned her, and emotionally abused her. And the worst part? Some people were already believing it. My phone started buzzing with messages. Some from friends, confused and worried. Others from coworkers, asking what was going on. Emily wasn't just trying to ruin my life. She was trying to destroy me. But I wasn't about to let her win. If Emily wanted a war, she was about to get one. Emily thought she had me cornered. She had sent out that fake email, painting me as a manipulative, abusive boyfriend who had abandoned her while she was pregnant. She had twisted our conversations, edited screenshots, and carefully crafted a story where she was the victim, and people were already falling for it. But what she didn't know? I had been preparing for this moment. Step 1. Damage control. Before Emily could spread more lies, I needed to shut her down. I immediately called my boss. Listen, I need you to check something before you believe anything you just got. I sent him my recording of Emily's confession, the one where she admitted to faking the pregnancy, trying to manipulate me and threatening to ruin my life. He called me back within minutes. Holy shit, he muttered. She's insane. Yeah, I sighed. And she just made this a public war. Don't worry, he said firmly. I'll handle this on our end, but you need to make sure she can't pull this crap again. Oh, trust me, I planned on it. Step 2, exposing Emily. Since Emily wanted to play dirty, I wasn't going to hold back. I compiled everything. The voice recording, the real text messages, proof of her lies, and even a few people who knew about her manipulative past. Then, I did something Emily never expected. I sent it all to the exact same people she had emailed. Subject line, The real truth about Emily, don't be fooled. Inside, I broke it all down. I explained how Emily had faked a pregnancy to trap me. I attached the audio recording where she admitted it. I included screenshots of her threats, showing how she planned to ruin me when I tried to leave her. And then, to make sure everyone knew who she really was, I included testimonies from two of her exes, both of whom had similar horror stories of Emily lying, manipulating, and destroying their reputations when they tried to break up with her. Within hours, people started replying. Wow, I had no idea she was like this. I can't believe I almost believed her. I'm so sorry, man. This is insane. She needs help. Even her own friends turned against her. Step 3, the knockout punch. The final blow? I took all of this evidence and filed for a restraining order. Emily had harassed me, blackmailed me, and attempted to ruin my career with false accusations. And with the proof I had, the court didn't waste time. She was legally banned from contacting me in any way. And the best part? When people found out she had a restraining order against her, whatever credibility she had left vanished. Emily tried to do damage control. She sent out a pathetic apology claiming she had been in a bad place and acted out of emotion. But nobody bought it. She had lost. The aftermath. It took time, but eventually things settled down. My boss had my back. My real friends stuck by me. And Emily? She disappeared. I heard through mutuals that she had moved to a different city, probably to start over where no one knew her past. And honestly, good. Because if she ever tried to pull this on someone else, I had all the proof saved and ready to go. I had won. And this time it was for good. I thought it was over. Emily had been exposed, humiliated, and legally banned from contacting me. She had lost all credibility, her friends had abandoned her, and she had even moved to a different city to escape the damage. I was finally free. Or so I thought. Because Emily? She wasn't done yet. Months had passed and life was finally back to normal. No more stress, no more drama. I was dating someone new, someone genuine, someone who actually cared about me. Then, one morning, I woke up to a flood of notifications. My heart sank as I saw my name trending on social media. Is this the guy everyone thought was innocent? A real abuser. Read the receipts. I clicked on one of the posts and felt sick. There was an anonymous account posting new screenshots. Edited ones, just like before, but worse. They made it look like I had said some disgusting things. That I had cheated, manipulated, even threatened someone. And the worst part? People were falling for it. My stomach clenched. Emily. I knew it had to be her. Even though the account was anonymous, the wording, the tactics, it all screamed her desperation. She had failed to ruin me before, so now she was trying to take me down from the shadows. But what she didn't know? I had been waiting for this. Emily had always been predictable. She thrived on attention, on people believing her lies. And I knew that if she thought she was winning, she wouldn't be able to resist taking credit. So I set a trap. I created a fake account and messaged the anonymous profile. Me, as fake account. Wow, you really got him good. I always knew he was trash. A few minutes later, anonymous. Told you. He thinks he can get away with treating women like this? Not on my watch. Me. You must know him personally. He really did all this to you? And then, the mistake I was waiting for. Anonymous. I was with him for years. Trust me, I know what he's really like. Boom, I had her. The account had just outed itself as an ex-girlfriend, the same one who had been exposed and run out of town. I immediately took screenshots and contacted a cybercrime expert. Since Emily had already harassed me in the past, I had grounds to legally trace the account. And guess what? It was hers. Within days, my lawyer sent her a letter threatening legal action for defamation and violation of the restraining order. And just like that, the anonymous account disappeared. The final collapse. Emily tried to fight back, but she was out of options. She had no credibility left, no one to defend her, and now she was staring at real legal consequences. She had two choices. 1, keep going and get sued. 2, disappear, for good this time. She chose the second one. Emily vanished. No more fake accounts, no more drama. Just silence. And me? I got my life back. For real this time. Epilogue. Sometimes people like Emily don't stop until they have no other choice. But in the end, the truth always wins. And as for me, I walked away from this knowing one thing. Never underestimate how far a liar will go, but always be ready to fight back. Emily had lost everything. Her reputation was in tatters. She had tried every trick in the book. Lying, manipulating, blackmailing, even coming back from the shadows to destroy me anonymously. And each time I had been one step ahead. But some people, they don't know when to stop. The last desperate move. It happened one night when I was coming home from dinner with my girlfriend. As I pulled into my driveway, my phone buzzed with a notification from my home security system. Motion detected front door. My heart pounded as I opened the app and checked the live feed. And there she was. Emily, standing at my front door, drenched from the rain, her mascara running down her face. And in her hand, a knife. I grabbed my phone and immediately called the police. But before they arrived, Emily did something that sent a chill down my spine. She looked straight into the security camera and smiled. Then she started talking. To me, through the camera. "You think you won, don't you?" She whispered, tilting her head. "You think you're safe, that you're free. But guess what, babe?" Her fingers trailed over the knife's blade. "I'll never let you go." Then, the flashing red and blue lights appeared, reflecting in the rain-soaked pavement. Emily turned her head toward them, and for a second, I thought she would run. But instead, she laughed. A twisted, broken, hysterical laugh. Then she dropped the knife, raised her hands, and let the cops take her away. The final blow, Emily was arrested for violating the restraining order, attempted harassment, and trespassing with a weapon. And this time, there was no escaping the consequences. Her history of manipulation, blackmail, and now this final stunt made sure of that. She was sentenced to jail time. Not long, but enough to ensure that when she got out, she'd be watched. Closely. She tried to reach out one last time, writing a letter from jail, begging me to forgive her. I never opened it. Instead, I burned it. Because Emily? She was nothing but a ghost from my past now. The real end. As I stood there watching the letter turn to ashes, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long, long time. Peace. Emily was finally gone. And for the first time since this nightmare began, I was truly free.